Alright. Question of the day. Once saved, always saved. But is that really the question you should be asking? To get the answer, if you ever come across somebody who has that question, am I saved? I don't know if I'm saved. The question you really need to be asking is, do you know Christ? There are scriptures in the Bible, the one that probably everybody has heard, the one saying, oh, you call me Lord, Lord, but I don't know you. I'm just phrasing there, but I'm sure you know the one that I'm talking about. We've casted out demons in your name, we've done this in our name, and yet you don't know me? How do you not know me? Or I never knew you. Yeah. Well, essentially, if you have a relationship with Christ, then you are part of his family, and when you become part of someone's family, you get grafted in, and if you weren't born a Jew or any kind of into the system, then you're automatically a Gentile. I am a Gentile. So we get adopted into the family as if we were born into one. And so therefore, when you're adopted into a family, you are Christ's child. Now, just like anything else, if you have children, you know that your children don't always behave. Does that mean that you don't love them anymore? Does that mean that you just cut them off and you're like, well, you're not part of the family anymore? No. You're going to have problems. Just like when you are walking with Christ, sometimes you're going to backslide and sometimes you're going to make mistakes, even as you're talking and praying and learning about Jesus and all that. So are there times that you're going to backslide and not be in good terms with your Savior or your Father in heaven? You're right. But if you die in the middle of a backslide, do you think that you won't be saved? Well, some would say, oh, well, yeah, you're not saved if you always got to be. Well, when you're adopted, if you adopt a child and they mess up, do you just go back to the courthouse and say, okay, well, I don't like this one, give me another one? Usually it doesn't work that way, and it doesn't work that way with Christ either. So, in a way, once saved, always saved, sure. But in another way, can you choose to walk away from Christ? You can. Can you choose to stop spending time with him and ignoring him? You can. Christ says that he needs to know us to go to his house. He's not going to let strangers into his kingdom. So we need, the real question is not once saved, always saved. The question is, do you have a relationship with Christ? So, and you would know if you do or do not have one. You would know if you're praying regularly. You would know that if you have a problem in your life, something comes up, and you either go to Christ, you either turn to Christ, or you either try to figure it out yourself. The sun is great in your guys' eyes. So, you would be able to tell on whether or not you have a relationship or not. So, it's not the end of the world, but there is that danger. You have kids, biological kids, who you don't even associate with anymore because they just don't talk to you anymore. They don't, or some of them just straight up disrespect you or treat you poorly. So, yes, they may still be part of the family, but I wonder if there's that still fine line where if you don't know them, would you let them into your house? I don't know. What do you think? So, I hope this video has helped somebody. and that God has blessed you, and that gives you peace about that question, because I know I've had that question for a long time in my life. I struggle with that every day, and not because I have a fear of not being saved, but it's more or less a fear of, do I have that relationship? Have I lost touch with my Savior? Have I quit talking to my Father in heaven? So, y'all have a blessed day.